The Yellow-Leg Hornets are a huge issue, and truly we are trying to stop them.
It's kind of nice, every day is just its own little challenge. I mean, this thing was eating good. I mean, it had to have been at least that thick, and probably that long from tail to nose.
All right, good morning, Pest Playbook. I'm here with Elizabeth Ramirez. She's the digital marketing manager at Yates Astro. Today we've got a ride-along scheduled and really excited to get going. Elizabeth, any thoughts?
I'm just excited and I can't wait for you to see what we do here.
Let's get after it.
So Yates Astro has been around about almost 100 years now. They've been around since 1928, so we're 2 years from that, and it's a family-owned and operated company. They take a lot of pride in taking care of their employees, and I really believe that's why they've been so successful. Here, just in the Savannah office, we have about 100 employees, and then probably about 75% of those employees are technicians. So they take a good chunk of our workforce. All right, so this is our office where most of our technicians work out of. They get their supplies, meet with their management, and then we also have our technician meetings here. The technicians love to see themselves, so I was like, you know what, and take all the pictures I've taken. Feels less empty in here.
Share with me what you just shared with me about this new invasive species.
Well, in 2023 was the first time they were ever found in the United States, and it was found on Wilmington Island. The state contacted us, asked if we'd be interested in, helping them eliminate these. We had to get a climber to climb the tree to get up to it because you couldn't get equipment out there, and we eliminated that nest, thinking that's the only nest in the United States. Well, since then we've done about another 100 nests since 2023. Started in Asia, and they're very, very invasive. The problem is they actually feed on honeybees. So they'll decimate the honeybee population pretty quickly.
So is that like a flamethrower approach then, or what's the treatment for those?
We actually, we'll go in, we contract with a tree company. They got a 95-foot lift that we can get up to them. We treat them, cut them, bring them down, and then they send the nests off to University of Florida and University of Georgia to do research on them. Now, a lot of times it's above the 95-foot lift, and then we have to bring in a tree climber, and they actually climb to the nest, haul up equipment to spray them, and then lower them down. The Yellow-Leg Hornets are a huge issue, and truly we are trying to stop them.
And Yates is coming to take them down.
Yep.
All right, we are in the truck. We're headed to our first site.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm here with Ashton. Ashton, where are we headed to first?
So we're gonna go out to Thunderbolt, and we're gonna do some bait stations at one of the properties that I manage out there. Probably got about 30 bait stations around the outside. Going on about 7 years. Got the job through my dad. We're both commercial technicians for Yates Astro. He's been here for about 18, 19 years, coming up on his 20-year anniversary. When I originally got the job, I didn't really have a lot of expectations, but I didn't really see it as, a glorified job. But honestly, couldn't really think of a better job. I mean, to a certain point, we make our own schedule. Got a great group of guys that we work with. Everyone's very informative. Goes top to bottom from, us technicians all the way to supervisors, management. We're really just a big team. We all help each other out. I think that we are an essential service in the area. It's kind of nice. Every day is just its own little challenge, and it can be rewarding as well. So I'm just gonna go in, start the ticket. I like to change the bait every month. A lot of the times you get moisture and you start getting kind of like a little bit of mildew and whatnot on there. I don't know how picky rats are, but try to give them the best option. They've been gnawing at a little bit. I was dusting out some equipment on a kitchen line, and I'm on my hands and knees, and I'm pulling the refrigerator away from the wall. And as I do it, the fattest rat jumps out in front of me. This thing was eating good. It had to have been at least that thick, and probably that long from tail to nose. And just right across my face like that. It scared the crap out of me. Your head on your shoulders, because you never know what's gonna jump out at you. Communication is probably our biggest tool that we can have in this industry in response time. And just kind of going through and talking to the customer, you know, like they're not the most informed as to what we do. So it is our job to come in and kind of explain to them what we do, why we do it. That way they can have a better understanding of what we do. You know, we've been here for 75, 80 years doing service here in the area. It's nice to know that, you know, this is our home, this is our backyard, and that we, you know, we contribute to our society on a level that benefits everybody. So when I first came here, I was doing a ride along with one of our technicians, and we were at a hotel, and there was a particular room that was an issue for German roaches, and they're kind of flooding into other rooms. And it was an extended stay, like the guest was there for an X amount of time, like maybe a month or so. So by the time he finally left, we were able to get in the room. And I mean, there might have been at least 1,000 roaches in the room. I mean, the bed sheets, towels hanging up on the wall, they were in the electrical outlets, underneath the TV, they were in the cable box. I mean, literally anywhere you can think of, they were there. He treated the room. He put a couple glue boards down as well. We came back 4 or 5 days later, might have had about 5 or 6 glue boards down. I know every single one of them was just filled. There was no empty space or void on the glue boards, just roaches piled all over them. It's a little more discreet when walking in. I mean, this isn't really discreet, but at least I can kind of have everything tucked away.
What kind of emergency calls do you deal with?
Maybe someone saw a roach in a room, or bed bugs tend to be the biggest, especially if we do find stuff in the room. If we find bed bugs in the room, we have to pull the room. So it means the hotel's gonna be wet without the room for an X amount of time. Or maybe there was a guest in a room that claimed they had bed bugs. So when they check out, you know, they ask me to go and inspect the room. I'll go in there, pull everything, inspect the room, kind of give them a seal of approval, like, hey, I went in here and I didn't find anything. That way they can email corporate and then deal with the customer accordingly. So now we're going to do a hotel room. So most of these have already been cleaned and they're going to be vacant. So a lot of times when I come into a hotel, especially something like this is going to be my prime area of focus, because what I'm dealing with more than anything would be roaches in a room. Bad thing about hotels is you have guests. So a lot of times the guests are going to bring pests into the environment, whether it's bed bugs, roaches, anything like that. And typically where you're going to find them are going to be places like this. So I like to always come in here, these mini fridges, check behind them, because a lot of times they'll get in behind where this compressor is, because they're going to choose warmth over water. And you got a good source of water right here by the sink. So I like to pull these out, kind of check behind these, make sure nothing's there. I'll kind of check kind of in the housing, make sure they're not underneath the cabinet anywhere, kind of hiding underneath the lip where the counter is. Believe it or not, you can find them in microwaves too. A lot of times they can get in where the door is, or behind it in the back where the motor is. They can get into electrical outlets as well. Now it's seeing you, so I'm not gonna take it apart, but they can get in there. Just kind of look around, do a little bit of inspection, see what I can see. They can get inside these coffee makers too. A lot of times they're not getting used that much. Then I like to check up underneath the sink. They'll get in where the cabinet is. They love to be in these areas. You can find them where the brackets are. And then you can kind of find them underneath the lips where the gap is between the cabinet and the counter. You can get silverfish too. So I like to kind of just spray around underneath the sink, see if that alleviates any problems. The guest thinks they saw bed bugs. I would come in, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna inspect the room. So they've already taken the pillowcases off, but I like to go to the pillowcases first, kind of check around the pillows.
And what are you looking for? What are the signs? What's the...
So they'll leave like a little ink type residue, that's their fecal. You can find eggs and bed bugs. They're, depending on how long they've been in the room and how much blood they've been drawn, they can be anything as small as like the tip of a pencil to as big as maybe like the size of a pea, maybe a little bit smaller. And I'll kind of check the sheets. A lot of the times you're gonna find them closer towards like the headboard, but I like to just kind of go through the sheets, especially kind of where like the seams are. Always kind of go through where the labels are. Say like the bed's just like this and I see a bed bug, it has to be treated. The hotel's gonna want to treat it, so what I'll do is I'll call our bed bug department, see what their schedule is, and we'll schedule for them to come out. What they'll do is they'll pull the room, so we have trailers at the office. They'll come with a trailer, they'll pull all the room. A lot of times it's gonna be at their discretion. Sometimes these headboards can't go, so what we'll do is we'll do a liquid treatment on the headboard. but we'll take the mattress, the box spring, the bed frame. If there's evidence on the couch, they'll take the couch and they'll do like a liquid treatment on everything else. So they'll kind of come in and do a spot spray. They'll pull all of the furniture that's needed. They'll take it back to the office and they'll throw it in the trailer and gas it out. And then it's got to air out for I think 24 to 48 hours. And then they'll bring the room back. They'll take the sheets. We advise them to throw them in the dryer first on the highest setting that'll allow it, because heat's going to kill it. So we advise them for all the sheets, if we don't take them with us, to dry them on the highest setting and then wash them afterwards. So right now I'm just kind of stripping the bed apart, seeing if I see any signs. I already looked at the top side, but they're pretty prevalent. If they're there, you're going to see them. So when I'm kind of going through a kitchen, I like to kind of put my stuff to the side, not even touch it for the first few minutes. Depending on the account, I'm only in here about once a month, unless there's an issue. So I like to kind of go through, kind of peel back the layers, make sure I don't see anything. Anything you can think of, you're gonna find them. I mean, they'll get in the cash registers, receipts, everything. You know, I like to go through here, just make sure I don't see anything. They'll get it inside, they'll get up underneath. They'll get in these strips as well. A lot of times they'll kind of get underneath where these little brackets are, where you like put them on the wall. Kind of blindly spraying and doing a Hail Mary is not gonna get you that far. Right now we're gonna do a little dusting. I get my respirator on. I like to wear a gaiter as well. Maybe it provides an extra layer, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it just makes me look cooler. Dust is probably my favorite tool to use in a kitchen setting. It's gonna be the best as far as residual goes. It's a great agent for flushing, and it's really good for kind of putting chemical in kind of hard to reach spaces. It's gonna last a lot longer than your traditional chemical will. It's gonna disperse and it's gonna get all up in there. I feel like a lot of times the newbies, they'll just sit here and just pressing it down, and it looks like I'm about to come out of like a concert venue. And I'll just kind of put everything back, kind of do a little bit of a spray underneath, and kind of call it a day. And it's important to kind of do what you need to do, be thorough, be efficient, because there's so many people trying to come in and underbid us and take service and everything else. So it's so crucial to do a good job. A lot of these smaller mom and pops pest controls that you see, you know, they don't really have the force that we have. I mean, we have a lot of employees, we have a lot of experience. It's good to kind of have the best of the best. You know, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I do believe that we are the best. And that allows, you know, us to provide the best quality work and service for our customers, and therefore they can provide, you know, their good quality service for their customers. So I mean, we're all cogs in the wheel, and we're all kind of all in the same boat in a way.